White flag coming from Kasen Eurto.
If I were a NASCAR man going round and round, yeah, you know I'd be number 3. If I were the best damn football in the South, I'd be the SEC. And if I were a Velcro stitched up...
Welcome to the Finding What Drives You podcast. Oh my gosh, today's a special day. We have every guest that's been on here has meant so much to me, and it's been special. I would say, this is a special day, but I really wanted to try something new, and this has been on my mind for a while. But first off, I want to thank everybody that watches, listens, subscribes, and shares, comments, all that stuff, and just shows your support and love. Trying to represent Bakersfield to the fullest, and it'll eventually, get outside of that. Really want to do successful stories, and today we have definitely a successful story. Me and Kyle, we met through baseball, but we've got to learn a lot about each other and overcoming adversity. And then we have a special guest, Kasen here, the Eurto family, and we'll get into how successful they are as a family and how excited I am to share. So welcome, guys, the Eurto family, the Eurto boys.
Eurto.
Eurto boys.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, right on. Well,
we met kind of in a weird way, taking over a baseball team that decided it didn't want to coach anymore.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to this T-ball, and it's like herding cats out there. And all of a sudden, the coach stopped showing up.
Yeah.
And so we're over there like, what the heck's going on here? These kids are running amok and not being coached very well. So me and Kyle just had to step to the plate, figure of speech, but we did it. Yeah. And we made it work, and we did okay.
Yeah.
The kids didn't get trophies or anything like that. We did well, which is okay.
Yeah.
But
it turned into what we got now. So.
It turned into what we have now, which is what year are we on now?
4 or 5.
I think, maybe.
Yeah, something like that, man. I lose track of time quick.
Yeah, so we linked together through baseball, and it's been a heck of a journey. And we've had Kasen and my son Luke playing together since then, and they're boys and they're studs and have so much fun playing baseball. But I think today we're going to talk about a little something different, maybe some racing. Yes. So what kind of car do you drive?
A wing cart.
Oh, yeah? What's more exciting, baseball or racing, you think?
Racing.
Racing, why is that?
'Cause I like to win.
You like to win? That's awesome. Well, hey, we got the championship coming next Thursday. We have playoffs starting. I think we're going to have a good chance at baseball, too. So we play for the Angels this year, and we have a bunch of studs on the team, and it's been a blast. It's been very fun.
Yeah, this team's probably been the most solid we've had since we've started, and I think we got a good shot at it.
Yes, definitely. So after the baseball game, it's really intense, and I say, hey, where'd Kyle and Kasen go? They're gone. They're gone to where?
Racing.
The racetrack. So we're usually busy doing something afterwards, but I look on Facebook later that night and I see you holding a big trophy.
Yeah, we pulled it off last weekend.
Yeah.
So how does it work? How does the system work? What ranking are you, and how many people are you going against?
Like 10 and sometimes 20.
Sometimes 20? And you want to win. How many times have you won this year?
Like 6.
6 times? Wow.
Yeah, 5 heat race wins, and then that was the first main event win this year.
Wow. And I saw one time you crashed and then got back in there and still kept going.
Yeah.
That is all. Tell me about that.
Tell me about your flip.
That I finished second.
Well, what happened though?
I went over someone's wheel and I tumbled.
How many times did you tumble?
Once.
Once? Oh my goodness! And were you hurt?
No.
No? Oh yeah, you don't get hurt. You're tough.
Yeah.
I've seen you get beaten by the baseball or get hit, and you're just fine. You wipe it off, and there's no crying in baseball, and there's no crying in racing. I bet too, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what's the most exciting thing in your life right now, Kasen?
Racing.
Racing? Oh, okay. Well, that hurts Coach's feeling right now, but it's okay. Well, what we're going to talk about today, man, we've had many conversations about it. You were in racing as well, right?
Yeah, pretty much my whole life.
Let's talk about that. Let's start from the beginning, and then we'll get into the details.
Okay. So basically from the beginning, from the time I grew up, my dad and my uncle raced dirt cars. So that kind of was in my blood to begin with. And then my brother and I rode dirt bikes and quads and stuff like that, growing up. And then towards the end of high school, I started racing quads. And I did that for 5, 6, 7 years maybe. And then I decided I wanted to get into cars. So I did that and did that for 5 or 6 years also. Had a good time with it and just had some injury and some illness to go along with it. And that kind of sidelined me. And the last one, the doctor pretty much said that you don't need to hit your head again. And so that was a pretty tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Something I had grown up with, done my whole life, for them to say, you're done. I didn't know anything else. I did other things, but I lived for racing. That was what I knew. And so that I just kind of had to take a step back and kind of reevaluate my life and realize, I have a kid to raise. At the time, he was only 2, maybe 3. And, I'm like, there's bigger things in life, and I can't take that chance of getting hurt. And then one day, he was probably about 4 years old. He came to me, he said, Dad, I want to race. That was the greatest moment of my life.
Yeah.
I'm like, here we go. I might not be able to be the one out there pushing the pedals and turning the steering wheel, which I try to from up top while he's racing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, and then now that we're doing this, and when we started out, I was like, man, maybe this isn't for us. I think I could walk faster than he's driving.
Yes.
And then it clicked one day, and we started running competitively. And it got to that point where it was like, all right, well, I just hope we can make the main now. I think we're competitive enough. And then now it's to the point when we go to the track, I know we have a chance to win every night. So
wow,
the excitement's there. That's not saying we're going to win every night, because it's definitely not going to happen. Kern County, there's so many fast kids. The state of California, there's tons of fast kids. If we can win one every now and again, that's great. Just run competitive is my goal. So...
Well, you've been very competitive. Even on the baseball, I can see the competitiveness.
I think one drives the other, honestly.
Right.
It's, being in the race car pushes him to want to be more aggressive and play harder on the field. And being out there, being aggressive on the field, he gets into the race car, and that translates back. So I think they kind of work with each other on that aspect.
Yes, I can see it. Well, you definitely look relaxed out there, but when you're up to the plate, I can see it up in your eyes, man. You get the competitive edge and that look in your eye like you want to smash one. Yeah. So how old are you?
6.
6 years old? Oh, my goodness. And you're already doing flips, getting out of your cart, still winning races. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite baseball team?
Dodgers.
I know. So it's so funny just asking you questions out there in the field, and most of the players already. Who's your favorite player?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts? It used to be Bellinger. What happened?
He went in a slump.
Yeah. You like to win. I get it. Right on. So back to you, Kyle, man. You told me the story, man. It's go into more detail what happened with your accident and what. Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking story, and then now you're living through your son's racing, and I think it's just amazing. We're finding
essentially the title of your podcast too. What drives me?
I know. I was thinking that, like, finding what drives you.
Yep.
And
that's 100% the truth. So just from over the years of racing stuff, I had some concussions here and there. Nothing like crazy. Nothing that anybody would really think anything of. But in 2011, I was diagnosed with valley fever. And, you hear about that a lot, and especially in Kern County. And I didn't really, they gave me medication for it. I was pretty sick. I got better. I didn't think really a whole lot about it. And in 2015, I started having like some super bad headaches, and like to the point of almost passing out. And I couldn't get a grasp on anything. Like I was real incoherent of where I was at, like what was going on. Even like when I wasn't having the headaches, I was lost. And so anyhow, I ended up going to the hospital, and I found out I had hydrocephalus, which is fluid on the brain. And so they weren't really certain at first what was the cause of it. One doctor said, it could be from concussions. One doctor said it could be from valley fever. You know, there was like one said meningitis. It was a whole bunch of stuff. It was a mess. So long story short, they ended up putting a shunt in my head, and so it runs out of my stomach, drains out, and sent me on my way. And, you know, I healed up and got back to normal life and started racing again. And
how long was that break there?
Not very, like less than a year.
Wow.
Yeah. But I got in a pretty bad wreck. Mind you, racing quads and stuff, you fly off those things. That's why he's in a roll cage.
Right. Yeah.
I learned my lessons on those.
Right.
But and I broke my sternum. I broke some ribs. Hit my head pretty hard, knocked me out. But again, that's stuff that you see all the time. I didn't think anything of it. And so fast forward to 2018, I woke up one morning, I was sleeping with my hand under my head, and my hand was all wet, and I couldn't figure out what. It was just water. I was like, whatever, you know, maybe I was sweating or something. And as the day went on, my hat was getting wet, and I'm like, man, I'm not sweating. It's cold outside. And come to find out that the shunt actually broke, and it cracked the skin, and it was seeping the water out of my head. So I had to go back in and get it replaced. And from that point until June of 2019, I think I had like 6 or 7 times they replaced the deal, and they kept blaming it on faulty equipment and whatnot. And ended up going to UCLA, and when I got down there, they basically said that they were never gonna get it resolved here, because I had actually gotten a infection in my stomach from when they replaced it the first time, and they had just kept putting all the hardware right back in the infection. So it was clogging itself back up. And so I spent a month down there, got down to like 130 pounds. Had to teach myself how to walk again, just from being in a bed for so long.
Wow.
And finally, you know, got back to normal, and went back down there and got checked out, and they said everything was good. And basically they said, don't ever get back in a race car again. Like, you're on borrowed time if you do. So that was pretty hard for me to hear.
Yeah.
Because I was already, you know, planning on getting back going again as soon as I was healthy.
Right.
And that pretty much put a niche in those plans. And so I just, you know, took it the only way I could, and just, you know, move on and keep trucking. And then, you know, he decided he wanted to do it, and that was awesome for me. Like,
I bet.
It rejuvenated me, you know?
Yes.
So.
I mean, when we're talking, there's so many similar stories. Like, I wanted to be a pro baseball player. I got hit in the nose in my senior year. You know, super tough pill to swallow.
Right.
And the doctor said if I got hit again, then it could possibly have pieces of bone fragment go in my brain. And so I still wanted to play. I still went and played one more time because we made the playoffs.
Right.
And I was super sketchy out there. I wasn't the same person anymore.
You're real timid.
Yeah, so it was tough. I still could have gone to BC and tried out, but I ended up choosing golf, and everything happens for you, I believe. So that was one of those situations where everything happened for me. Went to golf, and it worked out pretty well.
Right.
So,
and you don't have balls flying at your face playing golf.
Exactly. It's not as rough as sport.
No.
Well, also another, you know, relatable instance to yours is my mom. They were trying to find out what's wrong with her, and they found out it was hydrocephalus as well, and they put a shunt in her head. So I was just like, wow, I've never heard of that before, and now you're telling your story,
right.
And they're linking up like that. So
yeah, it's wild. And an even crazier thing, the way medical technology has come, is it has like a little magnet inside. So like I can't do like MRIs. I have to do like the CT scan or whatever, because the MRIs are magnetized. But they can hook like a little valve up to it, and the magnet will pull, and it'll tell like what the flow rate is on there, and they can twist it and adjust the flow rate from right on the outside of your head.
Wow!
So they can speed it up or slow it down.
How old were you when that happened?
That was like 7 years ago. So
7 years
25.
ago. Okay. Yeah. So you're still. How is it now?
If you didn't say it, I wouldn't even know it's there.
Well, good. That's great.
It's like inside my head, so you know, to me, it's nothing out of the ordinary for me.
No, well, good.
So yeah, it took a while to get used to it, though. Just, you know, from being cut open and stuff, and trying to get your muscles and everything to because I mean they cut your stomach open and everything to run it all down, and
right.
It's a little bit of a process, but long run goal, you know, it goes back to normal how it's supposed to.
Right. What was your end goal? What was like if everything had worked out just perfectly? What would be your dream like come true?
Well, I mean, obviously I wanted to get back to racing, but like I said, there's more to life than that, and I did it as just a hobby.
Okay.
So
right. Okay, gotcha.
It wasn't like, to me, it was like life's a lot bigger than that, and raising my son and being there for my son was my end goal. Like that's what I needed to do. And then when he decided he wanted to do this too, that was 100% what drove me to be where we're at now, because when he's like, I want to be all in, I'm all for it.
That is great. Well, I was asking that because some parents, you know, they didn't reach that goal they wanted, so they're pushing their kid. But it doesn't sound that way. It sounds like it was a hobby for you. You love it. Your kid chose to do it. You didn't force it upon him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's why he's probably so successful.
Right. Well, we actually when he had just turned 4, we built him a race car, and he was all about it. We got it done, and he's like, I don't want to do this. I want a dirt bike.
Right.
I said, okay. So we sold that car. We bought a dirt bike. We rode 6 months, and he's like, hey, can we get another race car? I'm like, yeah, he would ask me that after we went out, got all new gear, like fully established dirt bike riding now.
Right.
And so then we switched again, and he's like, I'm serious, I want to do it. And like ever since then, it's just been all in. And like, I mean, we race like 3 weekends out of the month minimum. Sometimes we race every weekend of the month.
Wow. Yeah, I wanted to get into that too. Like, what does it take as a parent? How much commitment? And also, for people, I want to really we have an audience out there that doesn't know a lot about racing. We have some that really do because it's Bakersfield. But I really want to let people know what this world is like. I kind of have people on here that have something new to offer and why Bakersfield's so amazing. In my eyes, I'm a glass half full type of person, and I think racing is awesome. It's something I haven't really got into because it's not what my parents or my family were into. So explain the process of getting into it, how much it means to you, the competitiveness, and the crowd out there.
So to get into it, I mean, anybody can do it. There's no requirements per se. Basically, if you got the determination and the drive and you want to be successful at it, you can be. You can start as young as 4 years old. And basically what he's driving now, they even have like some smaller divisions as well if you just want to get out there, get your feet wet. But the possibilities are endless. It's all on how much time and effort you want to put into it. That's the biggest thing. With the class he's running now, on any given night, you've got 10 to 15 kids that can go out there and win a race. The competitiveness is huge.
I can sense that. And so,
like, in Bakersfield, there's not a whole lot of races. I think we only have like 5 at Bakersfield, and those are smaller car count races.
Mm-hmm.
We go up to like Hanford and Chowchilla, they're getting around 20 to 25 cars. If you go up north to like Cycleland, they're pulling 40, 50 cars.
Wow.
Big shows, some more than
Is it a bigger track?
Yeah, I think it's like a 6th mile up there. It's pretty big. But like, so there's one particular kid from here. His name is Jet Yantis. Kid's probably the most talented kid I've ever seen in a race car. It would blow your mind to watch.
How old is he?
He's 12. He just turned 12. He started, actually, so his first race car we bought from them. But he started in the same spot, and he's up now. He's running with grown adults now. He's actually moved. He's running some micro sprints, which are even bigger yet than the outlaw carts.
Right.
But if he sticks with it, he's got a future in the sport.
That's awesome.
And 90% of the stuff that he's learned in a car is from him. I could tell him something till I'm blue in the face, and he's just like, huh? And then that kid tells him one time, and he does it.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, it's something to do with kids teaching other kids stuff. But
I agree.
But yeah, so and that's just one. In my opinion, personal opinion, he's probably the best to come out of Bakersfield. But there's a lot of kids out of here that are extremely fast, and they could definitely do something if they put their mind to it.
Yes.
And I feel like in general, Kern County is just a big motorsports town.
It sure is, yeah.
And California in general, I mean, like if you go motocross, Southern California is huge on the talent level there.
Right.
But throughout the entire state, though, there's so much talent that comes out of here. You definitely have to be on your A game every week.
Man, as a parent, how nervous are you?
I'm more nervous with him on the track than I ever was racing myself.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
But at the same time, like when he goes out there, I mean, you see parents out there, they're like shaking and freaking out because their kid's passing a car. I'm not like that. I mean, when they're out there, I'm confident in his abilities. I know that he's looking ahead, and I know that he's always leaving himself a way out. So he's definitely a smart race car driver, and so that helps me keep my nerves under control. But every now and then my soda cup might not just have soda in it. But
yeah, I'm sure it gets pretty intense out there.
Yeah, it's a good time though, for sure.
Well, if you're winning, I don't know if you're very safe. You probably get pedal to the metal. Do you ever hit the brakes ever? I love that. That's how you win, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about racing besides winning?
Trying to pass people, probably.
That's great.
Going fast?
No, to pass people. So to pass everybody. I said, well, besides winning, just passing everybody.
That's what you got to do to win, right?
Well, that's awesome. So yeah, getting into the sport's pretty easy. Obviously, how much maintenance is it on your vehicle?
I'm pretty OCD about maintenance. I don't want something to go south on the car and then it be my fault. I mean, if we're going to have a bad night, it's going to be because it's his fault.
Right.
So,
you don't blame it all on coaching then, huh?
But no, you change oil every race. I change the spark plug every race. Prep the tires, definitely wash the thing. I'm very stickler about, I will not go to the track with a dirty car. To me, it's bad luck. I don't know. I've always been that way. That's how I was raised. You don't show up at the racetrack with a dirty car. So
I love it. Is other kids show up with dirty cars or what?
Oh, I've seen it a lot.
Yeah. Even though it's a dirt track, it doesn't matter.
I mean, to each their own, but
you look good, play good. Look good, ride good.
Show up clean, and then you can leave as dirty as it wants to. But yeah, we do a solid bolt check. I probably spend 3 hours a week in the garage just making sure the car's good to go.
Right.
Checking every little bolt.
Of course, for safety mostly, and make sure it's running properly, give them the best chance to win possible.
Exactly, yeah, because, I mean, they're moving around there pretty fast, so you don't want to take chances.
How fast do they go?
It varies from track to track, but, like, Bakersfield, they're probably close to 40. Hanford, they're probably 45 to 48. And Cycle Land, they're clocking across the line at, like, 65, and I've been told into the corner they're just over 70, so
wow,
they're moving around there pretty good.
You like going fast?
Yeah.
Of course, you like to win. So have you seen Talladega Nights? Have you seen that movie with Ricky Bobby?
Yeah.
Do you like that movie?
No.
That's so funny. Most hockey players don't like Mighty Ducks. No. Racers don't like movies when it's related to the same sport for some reason. So you like the movie Sandlot?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Everyone loves Sandlot.
Yeah, that's a classic right there.
Yeah, so how much does a car like that kind of cost for someone that's trying to get into it? Roughly.
You could get into one for between $4,000 or $5,000 probably.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, is it kind of the richest guy wins, or that's not the case?
No, this class is everyone likes to say these cars are a momentum car. There's only so much. They're a sealed crate motor. There's not very much you can do to the motors. They all have a minimum weight rule. So basically, everybody's in very similar equipment. A lot of it's going to go into how you set the car up, how the kid's driving. A huge part that, and you'll hear anybody that's running up front telling their kids, you have to open your corner entry up. These cars are such a momentum car that if you enter on the bottom, the car gets tight and it bogs the motor down, you spend 2 laps trying to make up that time that you just lost right there. Mm-hmm. Or if you keep your corner entry open and make it a bigger circle, keep those RPMs up. You'll think somebody's got way more motor than somebody else, and that's the difference right there.
Wow.
So I mean, there's not a whole lot that money's going to get you here, but not here.
Right.
It's this class is more driver.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it has to be deal with the driver then, and all the cars are pretty similar.
Yeah, they're. I mean, there's different chassis manufacturers, and different tire manufacturers and stuff like that. But different guys that are doing the prep work on the engines. But I mean, we're talking minute changes there. It's more of a preference.
So okay, we're gonna do a scenario right now, Kasen. You ready? You just won the race. You won the championship. How do you feel? Do an interview right now. How do you feel about the win? How do you feel about the race? What would you say?
I don't really know.
No, I know. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. But hey, you're going to have to get used to interviews, man, because you're going to be interviewed a lot. Because I know if you're winning now and I know who you are, you're going to continue to win down the road. So I'm looking forward to watching you, man. So you guys, you look at your car, you guys have a lot of sponsors.
Yeah.
So yeah, break down the sponsorships.
So we have quite a few local ones. We'll start with those guys. Probably our longest standing one is John and Bob's Tire Service. It's a good buddy of mine, Jake Vermeer. Him and his dad. His dad does heavy equipment tires, and so they've always been real involved with what he does and been a huge part of our program. So they've been on board since the start. And then of course Bakersfield Paint, our company, they help us out, and Mecca Nutrition's been on board with us for basically from the start also. And then towards the end of the year, we brought on a local McDonald's. The guy's name is Mark Johns. Yeah. He owns, I think he has like 6 or 7 of them here.
Yeah, I think I met that guy.
So he's real big into motorsports.
Right.
Good customer of ours, and he wanted to be a part of it as well. And then like of course like Joey Yantis, Jet's dad,
right.
For racing, he's been a huge help. Riley Clem over at Competitive Edge Motorsports. And then we actually just started doing some representing and advertising for Chase Rice's company. It's called Head Down, Eyes Up.
Yeah, explain that. Break that down.
So basically, for everyone that doesn't know, Chase Rice is a huge country music star. But this company he started, Head Down, Eyes Up, basically it's his own brand. He started it his junior year in high school is when the whole thought came about. But he hurt his ankle, and he couldn't play sports, and he was devastated, and he was in the weight room. He was ready to give up, and so he just kind of had his head down, and he was kind of just looking at the mirror, and he said it wasn't like he wasn't mad at what happened. He wasn't mad at anyone. He said it was more of like I'm not going to let this beat me deal.
Yeah, I can see that. So
basically he was like, I'm going to keep my head down and grind, but my eyes are up. I'm looking ahead, And he said it just kind of snapped, and like that was that moment right there is where he learned like, hey, I'm gonna make a brand out of this, and so that's actually what's on his hat right here.
Yeah,
so yeah, those guys they we brought them on board earlier this season, and super cool guys. I mean, down to earth, talk to you, whatever. Definitely they'll publicize your stuff and everything else too. So
yeah. So how'd they pick Kasen?
We were just talking back and forth. I spoke to his tour manager quite a few times, and he said, I'm gonna send you some stuff, and he sent me all the information and all their logos and stuff, and he's like, here, just shoot me some pictures of it done, and we'll go from there.
That's awesome. That's sick.
It just so happens, that Chase actually used to be a tire changer for Jimmy Johnson in NASCAR.
Really?
Before he got into the country music scene. So
wow. He's
like big into it anyways. And then his tour managers are big into the World of Outlaws, and they're all about NASCAR too. And so I don't even know how we got connected on Facebook, but we did, and then we were just chatting back and forth, and it just kind of all escalated from there. So
nice. So if you guys see that, head down, eyes up. That's a motivational hat right there, brand.
They've got their whole clothing line, hats, everything. It's just headdowneyesup.com, or they're on Facebook or Instagram too. So
wow, I'm going to check that out and have to support that too, because I love that. And I love Chase Rice too. I was watching the Barstool Sports, and Caleb Presley, he went to North Carolina, and he's from North Carolina too, right?
I think he's originally from Florida, and then he went to school at North Carolina.
Right, yes. Yeah. And there's a couple other country singers that have gone there too, but I think he got interviewed by Caleb Presley. You get to learn a little bit about him.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that now.
Yeah, I know. It's so cool.
Yeah. No, he's super cool though, and so yeah, we've got them on the front of the car, and then Matt and Clay, they're local guys over here at MCR Engines. They take care of our motors for us, and then of course QRC. Those guys are awesome up there. Anything that you don't know about the chassis, you can call them. They'll take care of you on it.
That's awesome.
And then Chris Ennis over at Sideways Designs, he designs our wraps. And then my buddy Kyle Heckman over at Elite Signs, he designs prints. They kind of work together on that stuff. So
yeah,
kind of got both of those.
I do
guys.
business with those guys too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but I mean, pretty much everyone that's helped us out, it's huge. It goes a long ways.
Definitely. I know this is a good town. We definitely support each other in any way positive as we can.
Yeah.
And we're definitely rooting for Kasen for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
We appreciate it. You guys have to make it out and check. We should be racing Bakersfield again. I want to say June 18th. Don't quote me on that. I'll check.
Yeah. So where do we go see you? Where do we go watch? What tracks?
The one we're running the most right now is Hanford. It's right up off the 198.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
We run there. I think we have another 12 or so races there this year.
What about Bakersfield? Where do we go see you in Bakersfield?
Bakersfield Speedway.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have I think we have 4 or 5 left there for the season, and then basically we'll go up to Cycleland up in Chico and run a few there, and then Chowchilla is where we normally run in the winter because it's under a barn, so when it's raining outside we can still race.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, on a dirt track you can't run in the rain.
Right. Yeah. That sounds like it'd be pretty dangerous.
Yeah. It's you don't really go anywhere. But
So let's talk about your baseball. How many hits have you got this year? You must have got 20 hits this year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I know. Kasen's so awesome. He's got the most swag on the team. He comes up there. He's got his shades. I was hoping he could wear them today.
we couldn't find him.
I know. He's always decked out, looking good. I know. You should see his batting stance. It's awesome. Well, and he's still young, but I think he's going to choose racing over baseball. It's going to break my heart. But it's all good.
We'll make them both work as long as we can.
Yes, exactly. I know. So name some racers that have came out of Bakersfield, and who's your favorite racer first off? Do you have one?
I don't think so.
You don't have a favorite
Well,
race car?
Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson? Yeah. What number is he?
Number 6, number 75, and number 5.
Yeah, look at that.
He has 3 different numbers.
This kid is so smart. You ask him a question and he knows the details of it too. It's so amazing. So yeah, who's been the most successful in racing at coming out of Bakersfield? I'd ask you, Kyle.
He probably knows.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
Kevin Harvick.
right. So we have some fans, or some family and fans out in Virginia that listen to this and that are outside of Bakersfield that don't know. So that's why I'm trying to let them know.
Harvick is probably hands down the most successful out of here.
For sure.
I mean, he's a Cup champion. He's got numerous. I couldn't even tell you the number of Cup wins he has, but the guy's had quite a successful career.
Yes, he has.
And he still runs competitive weekly. Hopefully, I'm hoping he breaks out and gets a win here soon. He's in a little bit of a slump.
Definitely, yes. There's been quite a few others.
Yeah, I mean the Mears family.
Yep.
I mean, you could go back as far as like Ron Hornaday's not from here, but he grew up racing here. And there's a lot of guys that have came through race like Kern County Raceway, not from here, but they've raced here a lot and are now in the top 3 NASCAR series. So, I mean, Kern County is a big epicenter. I mean, I don't know if you remember back in the day, Mesa Marin.
Yeah. That's something that was so sad when they shut that down. It's just ridiculous.
So the NASCAR Truck Series actually started at Mesa Marin.
Right.
And then it kind of got off the ground from there. But Bakersfield always have the history on that.
Yeah, people are trying to get Dick Shepard on here. I have not met him, but I mean,
he's a very well-known driver, owner. They have H&S Body Shop. Dick is a huge asset to all of racing in Kern County. Big supporter of it.
Man, what's the feel out there when you're at the track? You know, a lot of my neighbors do it, and I've been out there. I've seen a lot of races, but you know, to be a part of that, there's like a family out there, right?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people. They bring their RV or their trailer, and they go out there and they stay the weekend. And I used to go to drag races back in the day. My stepdad worked for Anheuser-Busch, and so we got to see Kenny Bernstein. He's doing 300 miles per hour.
Those guys are nuts.
Yeah, so I know the track, you wear earplugs and earmuffs, and so just explain the experience and the vibe out there on the track.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's like a family. I mean, obviously with any sport, there's feuds from time to time, but
competitiveness, it happens.
You have that in any sport, whether it's racing, baseball, football, whatever. But it's like a big family, and you know, you get to know those people out there. You see them on a weekly basis or every other week or whatever it may be. But you know, they kind of become your family away from your family. And you know, you're building memories with them every week, and you're sharing a racetrack with them every week. And
right.
So and the cool part too is, you know, you may have one guy that breaks this or breaks that, and this guy's got it or this guy's got it. And everybody just, whenever something goes wrong, it seems like everybody just kind of chips in and helps out and does whatever it takes to get that guy back out there. So
yes,
it's a good family environment. I mean, like I said, you have your moments when it's not exactly all pleasant, and you know, some stuff goes south, but for the most part, it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being out there. I mean, I don't know what it's like for him. He's on a whole nother level, it seems like. But for me, when I was out there, I felt like, you know, it's a way to just let your mind escape.
Right.
Like you could have all kinds of stress from work, or whatever you have going on. It's just holding you down, and you get in there and you put your helmet on. That's all out the window. Like you have 20 or 25 laps in it. That 25 laps or so, your mind's just clear. Like you're not thinking about anything. So
I love that.
That's, to me, that's like what was always huge for me. Like there could be stuff going on at home or whatever, and you get in that car and it's just like it's gone.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about that, and I know about that too. Just going and being competitive and putting your heart and soul into something. That's what you want. You want it to just escape from reality and, you know, from all the daily BS, and just go out there and just have fun, but also get better and improve and see how good you can be. You know, be the best version of yourself.
Yep, and that's what it's all about. I mean, when I was racing quads, it was the same way, but I mean, the reason I got off those things is because one day it just clicked in my head when I had a kid on the way, that when I put my helmet on, I don't think about the stupid stuff I'm doing or what the outcome could have been on that.
Right.
So that's why I decided I need a roll cage, and I was really successful on quads. I mean, when I got into cars, I had fun, had moments that I did well, but I didn't do it long enough to really, you know, get to that point. There's guys that have been doing it since his age. Right. So, you know, it was just more to have fun with it and just enjoy it and go fast and have a good time.
And go fast.
Yeah, go fast, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, he's starting at the right age though, where he'll be like those guys that I'm like, dang, I can't beat him.
Right.
I'm hoping that's how that's going to work out.
Right. Yes. So what do you want to be when you grow up, Kasen?
A race car driver.
A race car driver? Oh my goodness, I love it. So what's the step? Explain the process to get there.
Well, it's a long process, a lot of money. As a matter of fact, we talked about the other night. I said, hey, you know, you got to focus on your education. Right. Because if your grades aren't good, you don't race. Right. I mean, you got to draw the line somewhere. You got to have a motivational point to. You
got to have some discipline.
Right. And so he knows that. He knows he's got to do well in school. That's the number one goal. As long as his grades are doing well and his behavior's good, then we're going to go all in with racing and whatnot. But as far as, you know, moving up the ladder, right now he's running what's called box stock. From there, you would go to like the intermediate, which is like a 250 dirt bike motor in them. Right. And then from there, there's a lot of possibilities you could do. You could jump up to their open class, which is 450s or 500s. You could go over to like a micro sprint, which is a full size car with suspension on it. Right. You could go into, you know, full bodied cars by then. So
What age is that usually? Like 14 or actually probably
I think
16?
it's 12 now.
Oh, is it? Oh, you don't have to have driver's
No.
license to do that. Okay.
So basically, there's avenues you can take, and I guess at that point, it just kind of depends on what he's feeling, what he wants to do, how serious he wants to take it, and then you just kind of decide from there at that point. But we got a little ways still.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was, just explaining the process, how to get there, and it's not like they give scholarships for something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all out of your own pocket and whatever sponsors.
I know the sponsors are big.
They are.
It's so cool that they do something like that.
Yeah, it's they, like I said, all the ones that we have been great partners with us, and they definitely have our best interest at heart.
Right.
And we're super thankful for every ounce of help we've gotten from anybody.
Awesome. I see your whole family comes out to the games. I'm sure they go out to the track too, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. That's the other cool part is our family is super involved in it, and they, unless somebody's like super sick or something, they're not missing it.
Right.
It's cool for him because
Definitely.
it just pumps him up, and knowing he's got those people there to watch him, he kind of wants to be a show off sometimes, but
yes,
at least he's out there giving it his all, so I'm cool with that.
Yes. So finding what drives Kasen. That's so cool. So outlaw cars, that's pretty much what it is as well, right?
Yeah, so basically, to sum it up in a nutshell, it's very similar to like a go-kart chassis.
Right.
With some add-ons to it, and then it's got a roll cage with springs on it, and then you got a nose and a tail, and it looks like a sprint car.
Yes.
But the handling characteristics are a whole lot different than like a go-kart. It's purpose built to do what they're doing in it.
Oh yeah. Wow. So you already learn how to drive. I mean, I'm actually going to give my niece some driving lessons this weekend, and she's 17 years old. So you're getting started at a very young age. So when did you start making the gear? Explain the gear and the swag, and how can we get some of that?
So I'm gonna get some stuff done locally here. We have some stuff done right now, but you have to order it online. It's Red Bomb Graphics. If you just go to their website and just type in Kasen Eurto, his shirts pop up and you order them from there. They have t-shirts and sweatshirts right now. I'm hoping we're gonna get some pre-orders done and do some shirts and some hats here locally as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, I've had a lot of requests for them. I have messages I haven't even replied to. Just I'm like kind of overwhelmed. Everybody's just been hitting me up wanting stuff. I'm like, man, I need to get the ball rolling on this. I just gotten busy and haven't done it.
It's just, life's busy. Being a parent is too. So explain where you work at and what you do.
So I work at Bakersfield Paint. My dad's actually been there for, he's probably going to kill me if I exaggerate this, but I'm going to say 40 years, roughly.
So he's a young guy.
Yeah. He's run it with his partner that's actually the owner of the store. And then I started working down there. I started working summers down there when I was in junior high. And then I actually got my work permit when I was like 15 and a half. So that was like in 05. And I've been there ever since. So
so you have a lot of experience.
Yeah. And so basically like I do the outside sales stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
My dad runs.
Congratulations. I know what it's like to do inside sales. You're like, I can't wait to get outside.
Yeah. I did inside for a long time too. But then we have two stores now, actually, too. We have one over on Weibel, and then we have one on Landco.
There we go.
So my dad runs the Landco one, and that's the one I'm kind of based out of. But...
Yeah. I used to work off Landco at American Safety
for
quite a long time.
Yep. So, that's what we do. And then Kasen comes down and helps us out.
What do you help with, Kasen? What do you do there?
Not really anything.
So you stock the shelves. You got to start young.
Yeah, waiting for him to get a paycheck, start paying for this.
Yeah, right. I know, right? You got to make it big to pay for all your future vehicles.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite number?
8K.
Why is that?
Good.
How'd you come up with number 8?
Because my dad started with it.
Yeah. Well, so explain the number and what the importance.
It was actually my dad's number.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and I honestly don't know where he got it from, but. So the way that K came about, actually, funny story. So my dad was number 8, So then when I started I was 8 on the quads, and then we started racing some big races, and you couldn't have a single digit number. So I went to 801. That was my birthday.
Yeah.
But then when I got back into cars, I went back to number 8. Well, after like my third race, I let my dad drive my car once. Well, then he got the itch. He wanted to get another car.
Yeah.
So then we're like, well, how are we going to do this? We're both number 8. So I threw the K on mine because I'm like, well, 8 was his number first. So I'll just put the K on, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so then when he started racing, I was like, what number do you want to be? And he's like, well, 8K. Because that was my number, and it fit because his name starts with a K too, so it just kind of stuck.
It looks good too.
So
it fits perfect.
Yeah, I just had to explain to him why you can't have a K on the back of his baseball jersey because he
yeah,
just has number 8 on
AK.
there.
Yeah. I know. I grew up on the east side of town by the foothills, man, and all my buddies were either on quads, dirt bikes, or racing, and I get to see quite a bit of racing, and I always wanted to get into it, but I'm always fascinated about it, and it's a big part of this community.
It's huge.
Yeah, so I definitely wanted to bring you guys on and have you share your experience. You have anything else to share, about the community or racing or anything about Kasen and his future?
I mean, my biggest thing with if your kid wants to do it and it's affordable for you, let them do it. There's a danger in anything you can do. You can break your leg jumping on a trampoline in the backyard. And I think that's what a lot of people, that's their holdback, is the fear of the danger of it. I mean, there's risks in everything we do in life. You can either live in a shell or you can go out and experience it. I mean, obviously you want to be as safe as you can, but there's a balance there. And with these things, I mean, the safety equipment has come so far now.
Right.
I mean, his first flip, he had a couple. The first one was pretty rough, and I mean, he walked away without even a scratch on his body. That's the biggest thing, is like, don't skimp on your safety equipment. Spend the money.
Right.
And I tell people that all the time. Buy good seatbelts, buy a good seat, buy a good head and neck restraint, buy a good helmet. Don't buy the $100 Amazon helmet. Spend the money on good equipment.
Definitely.
In the long run, it's going to pay for itself. But yeah, if you can, if it's feasible for you to do, I mean, it's an awesome way. I've noticed with him too, like the maturity level, it comes up really quickly with this stuff, because they have to learn to respect something that's got more power than they do. And you have to have good mental focus. You gotta, and then from there, you keep learning different things, learning how to be looking ahead, and just the mechanics of learning your gas and brake and the coordination with the steering wheel. And I feel like it's gonna better you in your future with anything you do. I think it's just giving you more motor skills.
Right. No, I could definitely see that. It seems like the more adrenaline kids get, the more mature they get. The more they experience, the more mature they get.
Right. Yeah,
so
100%.
Yeah. So, what's the worst wreck you've seen out there? I mean, has anything been bad? I mean,
yeah, I've seen some pretty bad ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. In their stuff, I've seen some pretty rough ones in there too, but. I mean, I've seen sprint cars fly over.
Oh, that is a little bit faster, a little bit older cars.
Yeah, those are full-size V8 sprint cars, but those, the midgets, I mean, anything open wheel, at some point you're going to flip. It's not a if, it's a when.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they say that about riding anything. It's not if you're going to fall, it's when you're going to fall.
Yep. Yeah.
And how hard it is. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, in their stuff, I mean, I've seen some pretty bad ones. And it's just it's one of those deals, how they made contact, if it was a jump to wheel, if they caught a wall, if they got it at the end of the straightaway, if it was in the middle of the corner, so how fast were they going. But I mean, I've seen some pretty wild flips.
So you ever get scared, Kasen?
No.
Are any other kids scared, you think?
Probably some kids.
But not you.
Yeah, his last little deal he had, we were up at Chowchilla, and him and another kid came together, and he ended up head on in the wall, and it's a pretty good hit. It actually bent the frame on the car.
Like you hit a wall, he gets excited about it.
Yeah. Don't ask me how, but.
So did it hurt at all, Kasen?
Wait, my whole knee bit the dash.
Yeah,
Your knee bent the dash? Yeah. Oh my goodness. And you
I had a big old scab right here.
Oh, that's awesome. And then you kept riding. You got back in and still rode.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So you never get scared. So is there any superstitions? Like, do you have to do things a certain way in order to ride better?
What color can't you have on your car?
Green.
No green? Why is that? Why not?
It's just an old superstition that green's bad luck in racing, and my grandpa he swore by those superstitions, and I swear I was never gonna have them, and man, I see green and I just don't like it.
So I shouldn't come out and wear a green shirt with you guys.
It's just bad luck. I don't know.
I'm gonna get some gear, some swag, and wear it out there, supported by you guys.
Yeah.
Maybe a head down, eyes up.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, they have some cool hats.
Yes.
Their merchandise catalog's pretty solid.
So, are you getting good grades, Kasen?
Yes.
What's your favorite subject? What's your favorite class?
Like,
what do you like to learn about?
Reading, math, writing.
Math.
Oh, okay. All right. Calculating the turns. I see. Reading the track, measuring it out. I get it. Yep. Seeing out miles per hour. Seeing how fast you go. How fast do you think you're going? What's the fastest you've gone?
Probably like something about 40.
40? Wow, that is really fast.
Yeah, they're pushing like close to 70 at cycle end.
Really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but all the tracks around here about 38 to 40 is about the average.
So do you have a lot of fun? Are you excited before you go out there?
Yeah.
Yes, I know. You love it. That's so cool. Well, do you have anything else to tell the crowd out there?
No.
Do you have any advice for other kids that are coming up that want to ride too? Okay, well, let's give them our 3 rules of baseball. What's the 3 rules of baseball?
Have fun.
Have fun, number 1. What's number 2?
Play good.
Play good. Stay focused and then be a team player. But I say you replace that, the 3rd one, with play good. Ride good. Like you can say find what drives you.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, right on. Anything else you guys want to go before we wrap this thing up?
I was just gonna touch base, and so when he's not actually in the car, we have a simulator at home.
Yeah.
It's iRacing. I'm sure you probably heard of it.
Yeah.
So he'll spend, if I had to guess, 6 to 8 hours a week on that thing, just burning laps.
Explain that. It's a simulator. Like I know
so
simulators.
it's a computer.
It's pretty much like a big video game, realistic video game.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's pretty realistic. Like you can get him better on the track.
Oh yeah, like all the top NASCAR guys use them. And I mean the difference between that and like actually in the car is you're not feeling it in your seat. I mean they make vibrating ones and all that stuff too, but we're not that high class.
Right.
But I mean we got a race car seat and a steering wheel and pedals and monitor and computer and all that good stuff. And I mean you can race online with whoever you want anytime. And I mean he'll go in there and burn 150, 200 laps in a night.
Wow.
And sometimes I have to drag him out of there. I'm like, all right, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah. That sounds like it's fun for you, Kasen. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. I know time flies when you come on here. But what did you think? Did you have fun, Kasen?
Yeah.
You like doing this? Well, we'll bring you back and do it again. All right?
Yeah.
So what do you say when you win? I mean, what do you do like this? How do you take a picture? Do you hold up a number 1? First place?
Stay on your wing. Or use your arms.
Well, I do this sometimes.
Yeah. This means victory.
Yeah.
Well, hey, our Saturday's our last game for the Angels, and then we go into playoffs, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to do this on Thursday.
I hope so. We came up 1 spot short last season. So.
I know. Yeah, that team, we didn't win a game all season, and then we came back and hit it on playoffs. So
yeah. Let's hope this year we just started off good and stay good.
Yes.
Not do the opposite.
Yeah, well, you have a good balance of individual and a team sport. So you're looking pretty good, buddy, looking for the future. And keep up doing good in school and practice your victory speech. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming, and we appreciate it.
For a NASCAR man going round and round, yeah, you know I've been number 3. If I were the best damn football in the South, I'd be the SEC. And if I were a Velcro stitched up stars and stripes, you can bet I'd be flying proud, pressed on the chest of America's best, putting bad dudes in the ground. And if I were rock and roll,